right, now listen up.
3, 2, 1.
It's showtime.
That's great.
This is ridiculous.
99.3 The Truth.
You can't handle the truth. Right now.
That was the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Let's do it. Hit it.
It's time for Max World.
And here we go.
Everybody, let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Call Mac 244-0077 or text 809-0993.
It's showtime, everybody. Showtime.
Exclusively on 99.3 The Truth.
7 minutes after 4 o'clock on the 27th day of October in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. It is the Thursday edition of Max World Live, although today will be my Friday. Tomorrow, Chris Roloff will be doing the trunk and treat at the Urbandale Library, right? Or City Hall, same thing.
Urbandale Police Department parking lot.
Yeah. And Bob Montserrat will be picking up his child and grandchild from the airport tomorrow, and Frank was the only one that didn't have anything to do, so Frank is going to do Frank's World tomorrow. And have you contacted anybody for guests or topics or anything?
No, but I will.
You going to get a hold of Johnson?
Yeah, I'd like to try to get a hold of Kevin.
You bunch of Old Testament dudes get in here and be self-righteous
Nels
and
is pretty
agree with each other
guy.
And just pat yourself on the back because you know everything.
John George is a pretty good guy, too.
By the way, that Urbandale Police Department trunk or treat is Friday. Starts at 5:30 to 7:30. The Urbandale Police Department parking lot. Address is technically 3740 86th Street, but if you know where that is, right there in the corner of 86th Street and Douglas. It's going to be in the parking lot. Family-friendly event. Obviously, a safe place to be, right in the parking lot of the Urbandale PD.
Is that just for Urbandale residents?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No, it's not.
It's going to be a spooktacular event of
Ooh, that's the first time that term's ever been used.
Spooktacular event of costumes, treats, and community fun. Halloween games, ciders, cookies, and even me with candy. So I'll be there with my van. Big thanks to Officer Melissa Walks, for putting that together. It's the first time they've done this, actually. Urbandale PD is the first time they've done it. I hope it goes well because it'd be cool to see. I like these kind of events. I like trunk or treat events personally better than just kind of walking the neighborhood. It seems like you're seeing that less and less of just having kids and family walk the neighborhood. It's not like it used to be. I remember when I was young, it just seemed like kids were running around everywhere. But it seems like we've seen a diminishing of that and these kind of event-based things. Yeah. There's lots of churches that do them. So,
can you explain to me what trunk is supposed to represent?
Trunk?
What it is? Have you ever been to one of these things? Basically, what it is it's a large parking lot, and the trunks of vehicles are all opened.
Oh,
and the trunks are like the home.
Oh,
so you've made a small community, and the kids walk around and they go from trunk to trunk getting candy, and usually the trunks are decorated, organization-sponsored trunks and things like that. So we'll have a 99.3 banner on our trunk. So we're just giving out candy to the kids, but it's a way it's a safe one-stop shop for lots of candy for kids.
No,
it's really fun.
I never heard of that before.
Oh, they're really, I like them. And then they usually have other kind of games and snacks and things like that. And so,
what kind of candy did you get?
We're gonna go buy the candy tonight, so it'll be fresh.
Fresh, yeah. That's what all Halloween candy is that you buy the day before Halloween. Fresh. Just like just made, just baked, just chocolate covered.
It's just baked. What we're going to do is we're going to give out toothbrushes and pencils. I'm joking. You gave me the nasty look. No,
Toothbrush.
I'm joking. Have you ever gotten a toothbrush?
I haven't been trick-or-treating in...
No.
I mean, I didn't go with my grandkids, so I suppose I have to go back 25 years since I've been trick-or-treating.
Did you ever see adults trick-or-treat as little kids and get on their knees and put shoes, like the front of shoes on their knees and try to act like kids?
Was that hard on your knees, Frank?
No.
You know, the cool thing that people do around here, like on Beggar's Night and that kind of stuff, is the jokes. That was new. As a Texan, we didn't do that growing up. But doing knock-knock jokes is really, that's clever.
So do you have a knock-knock joke?
I don't, you know.
Frank, do you have one?
The oldest one in the book.
Knock. Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, glad you're not a banana.
That's got to be an East Side joke. I never made it over that never got west of Merle Hay. I'm just telling you. I've lived west of Merle Hay all my life and never heard that joke. Have you heard that joke before?
It's usually longer.
Is it?
Yeah, goes like this. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Seriously, are we going to keep... All right, who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?
And when is Beggars Night?
Officially,
Tomorrow?
I don't know.
No, I
to be
think
honest with you.
isn't it Sunday night?
It might be.
I don't know.
Isn't it different in different counties
think
or
it
whatever?
is.
Oh, no, you're right. It is Sunday night. It is Sunday night, at least in Urbandale, Polk County, anyway. I think.
9:30. So that would be the 30th. So Halloween's actually Monday.
Right.
And
I
we
don't
should
think it-
remind folks that next Wednesday is Testify at Pizza Ranch in Urbandale, way north on 86th, and Beth Ballou will be our guest. And if you think you know that name from religious circles here in Des Moines, that's her father-in-law. She married Little Boy Blue. Blue. Not Blue, Blue. Like blew your horn. No, that wouldn't be right either. Anyway, Beth Ballou will be our guest, and this is a woman that says she knew God all of her life, but never had God in her heart until one day not too long ago, and Jesus mugged her.
Stick 'em up. I want everything you care about. Give it to me now, because I'm Jesus.
And anyway, she'll be our guest. All right. So a little later on, I want to talk about 2 Corinthians 3, starting verse 7, with the glory of a new covenant. I want to go through this with you a little bit, but until then, you're kind of pizzazzed, kind of jazzed, kind of up on this story about Jared from Subway, his wife.
Well, so...
Does your wife know about this obsession you have with Jared's wife?
I think it's an interesting story. I heard about this, and I was totally befuddled by it, so I did a tiny bit of research, and I think it's kind of interesting. So most people are familiar, I think, at this point, that longtime Subway spokesman Jared, who was the fat guy who said he lost weight by walking to Subway every day and eating a turkey sandwich. Yeah, right. But anyway, so that's what he said, and he became the spokesman for Subway for a really long time. I don't even know. Jeb, do you even know? Do you know who Jared is?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Okay. You probably don't even remember Subway not having Jared then. He's kind of...
Yeah, I really don't.
I think at some point, some people used to think that Jared owned Subway, but he doesn't. He was just really a spokesman for Subway for a long time, and it came out just about a year. I don't even remember.
No, it's longer than that. A couple years ago now.
A couple of years ago. Man, has it been that long?
Yeah, it has.
So it's been a couple of years now that it came out that he is a pedophile. He had child pornography and all that kind of stuff. He's actually serving a prison sentence now. He's actually in jail at this point for being a pedophile. He was tried convicted as a pedophile. So what's changed in this story...
Boy, that prison isn't hard on him. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being Jared Fogle, and you're the big fat guy that lost all the weight eating Subways, which nobody believed, but yet he did, and he held out the big pants, like he could drive a tank through them, and then he gets caught for as a pedophile, and you think, oh, well, that's just Jersey Mike's trying to, dug up the competition or Firehouse Subs or whoever it is. No, it was real. The guy was really a pedophile. Found guilty, smacked down, divorced by his wife, goes to prison. And I can't even imagine. I mean, I know men and women who have been to prison, and I'm not talking country club prison. I'm talking about hardcore prison. And if you're a pedophile, I mean, you beat your wife, that's a bad thing. You steal from your government, that's not quite so bad. You're a white-collar crime, they don't even care about you. You're a pedophile? You're on the sex registry, sex offenders registry? Oh, my. And Jared, he got it all. And what does his wife do?
So now his wife is suing Subway. Jerry Fogle's ex-wife now wants to sue Subway. And so I heard that, and I was like, what does she want to sue Subway for? I don't understand. She wants to sue Subway because, according to her, Subway knew that he had an addiction to child pornography and that he was a pedophile, and they never told her. And I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. Are you saying that they didn't get married till after he was the Subway spokesman? Well, I did a little bit of digging, and the reality is they got married in 2010. They were not married very long before he got busted.
Didn't she turn him in? I thought maybe I'm wrong. I thought
I don't know.
She turned him in. She caught him and said, "You stop," and 95 times later, he didn't.
Well, that would really mess up her case. So I don't think that is completely accurate.
Yeah, that's not accurate at all. Then,
right?
Okay, never mind.
So she's suing. She's suing Subway, making the claim that Subway knew this for a long time, and so USA Today article kind of breaks this down a little bit. It is as far back as 2004. There had been claims being made against Jared to the Subway Corporation. So that they had as early as 2004, Subway's senior vice president of marketing was told that Fogel approached a young girl for a sex act at a Las Vegas Subway event. Subway sent a public relations manager to ask Fogel and a franchisee about the incident. Subway did not contact the girl and did nothing more, according to the suit. So as far back as 2004, there have been claims that Jared is being a dirty jerk.
Is she trying to say it was an arranged marriage?
Well, see, that's kind of what I thought at the beginning, and I don't know. Part of her claim is that they then were, and I don't know all the details, but they were glad that he was married now, and they were using his family life to make him look like a more family man. Because when Jared first became the spokesman for Subway, he was just a single guy who went to Subway. But now that he was married, the whole family was on all these Subway commercials. They wanted to make him look really good, and according to the lawsuit, they knew he was a child pornographer. Or not child pornographer, but he looked at child porn.
He diddled babies.
Yeah, he was a dirty freak.
Okay. Well, when we come back, 2 Corinthians 3, starting with chapter 7, the glory of the new covenant. I'm going to talk about what a new covenant is. We're ending up with Jesus today, live in Mac's World.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi. My name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza! And it's got Graziano sausage!
Rock and Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rock and Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
21 minutes after 4:21 in the afternoon on the 27th day of October in the Lord's year 2016. J. Michael McCoy. Now, somebody give me, you're a baseball fan. You've got that Texas Rangers hat on.
Yikes.
So last night the Cubbies lost?
One. It's 1-1 now, the series.
1
Two games
for
in
one.
the series are done, and they both won. And what's interesting is both the victories have been pretty extreme. They were not close games. I think the first game was a shutout, wasn't it?
6-0.
Yeah, the first game was a shutout, and then the second game was at least a 2 or 3. I mean, it may have been 3-run difference.
Last I saw it was 5-1, but I don't
Five was 5, so it was a 4-run difference. So this is weird. But now we've got two games that were in Cleveland. Those are the first two, and so now the Cubbies go to Chicago tonight. It's tonight, right?
They'll probably take a day off.
They might take it off. So anyway, they go to Chicago for
You're
the
the
next
guy
game.
with the baseball cap on. Why are you asking Frank? He only knows
It's just
stuff
a
about
hat.
turn left.
Oh, I
turn
used
left.
to be a baseball fan.
He's a statistician. I just wear the hat because it looks so good.
3
on
games
me.
in Chicago. The next 3 games are in Chicago.
Right.
But,
So they go to
they-
Chicago.
2 games in Cleveland, that's it?
No, it's 2-3-2. So
2-3-2.
If Chicago has a chance to sweep in Chicago, they would win the series. If Cleveland
No, that's not true.
Yes, because it's 1-1. You got to win 4 games. So
And
if
they've got 3 games left in Chicago.
Chicago gets their 3 games in a row in
Okay.
Chicago.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
If they would sweep those 3 games, they would win the World Series. But if Cleveland can go into Chicago and steal a game, then that sends it at least back to Cleveland for the final 1 or 2 games, potentially for a best of 7.
I'm a pathetic baseball fan. I've never enjoyed it. I think it's boring.
But yet you like NASCAR. But we don't have to go down that road.
You think NASCAR is boring? Do you know anything about NASCAR? Do you watch NASCAR? Have you ever watched a NASCAR race? I know you don't like broccoli. I have to ask, have you ever tried it?
I love broccoli, actually.
Okay, have you ever watched NASCAR? Like a whole race? No, you haven't.
I would just assume watch paint dry.
Well, he's got a track down in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's interesting watching sports, you know.
If you go to a live NASCAR event,
Yeah.
you will give up all other sports for NASCAR.
I have a hard time believing that, but okay.
The sights, the sound, the smells, the colors, if you're not colorblind.
It's a great time, huh?
Great time.
It is pretty impressive. They do book. They do go quite fast.
The noise, the speed.
Anyway, NASCAR is the best. Go NASCAR.
Oh, quit it.
Turn left. Turn left. Turn left.
Quit
turn
it.
left.
You have-
Don't. Hey, turn left.
No.
Then
You
go
just-
into the
you
pit.
don't have-
Take a break.
You don't have any idea what we're talking about here.
No,
do
I
you?
really don't. But it's the same. You know, people think
Do you
baseball's boring.
understand these are athletes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't understand that, do you?
They do. They have to sit in a car for hours.
Oh, Frank, I'm on your side, Frank. Just for once, you got to hold this. Let me tell you something. These guys and gals.
I feel like I shouldn't have brought up NASCAR.
No, you shouldn't have.
It's my fault. I apologize, listener.
Second day in a row, you're making me mad.
This is making you mad?
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
at all. But just to understand, these guys, I don't want to talk about this, but these guys are athletes. You just can't write them off that they're sitting in a car like you sit
No, I
in your
know.
car.
I've heard you guys'
the
argument
seat
before.
belts are tight on them. They've got cold air rushing in through their helmet. They've got communication. They've got. I mean, it's a massive machine. What's an athlete if they take the ball out from under another guy's butt and back up a few feet and toss it? That's not an athlete. And then, whistle blows, and they get to stop and bend over and tie their shoes and, itch themselves.
I would definitely agree
That's
with
not
you.
an athlete.
No, football is just for babies. Little
I
baby
mean, football's the
limpies.
real thing, but come on.
In the 1960s, when David Pearson, Richard Petty was in that era, those guys were in that era. Those guys weren't athletes. But today's drivers are so into cardiovascular training, weight training, hand-eye coordination things that, they're classified as athletes nowadays.
That's how I relate. That's how I roll. That's how I relate to the NASCAR drivers. What did you just call it?
cardiovascular training.
That's me. Cardiovascular cardio. So you put car and radio together. So you have cardio. What's the second word?
Vascular.
Vascular. Now look at me. I am a vascular man.
Was that just from watching the races on TV?
That's just me.
Oh.
I'm a car guy, and I like to be on the radio, so I'm a cardio.
And you're totally vascular.
I'm totally vascular.
Totes
and what's
vascular.
the third word?
The cardiovascular training.
Train. I am a train wreck.
Freight train.
Train wreck.
I am a train wreck waiting to happen.
Cardiovascular train wreck. I love it.
Alexa, be quiet. No. No, you're not. Stop. So my integrator Jill gets us the Amazon Echo.
Yeah.
And can you like get a mic over to it, because this is just too funny. Absolutely too funny. So this is it's called a Dot. And this hooks up wirelessly to our internet here. And it's all on voice command. It is all on voice command. So this thing is about 6 feet from me. And we're going to put a microphone, and Craig's, we're going to hold it. So you ready there? You got to put the plug in the mic, Jug. Jeez, I work with just incredible people, cardiovascular kind of people. All right, are we ready? Do we have a microphone there? Can we test? All right, Alexa, play Trainwreck. Mic's not on.
How to help you with that?
There you go. All right, Alexa, play It's All About the Bass.
All About That Bass by Meghan Trainor.
Yes.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble.
Now, I know you folks listening on the radio think this isn't any big deal because there's probably a recording that Jebediah brought up on YouTube, and so it's no big deal. But this is actually a wireless, it's about the size of a hockey puck. And you just talk to it and it does whatever. For instance, here, watch this. Alexa, tell me a joke.
How does Jack Frost get to work? By icicle.
You know that shit ain't real. Come on now, make it stop. If you
How about that? Huh? Alexa, give me the weather.
Right now in West Des Moines, it's 62 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Tonight's forecast has just a few clouds in the sky, with a low of 52 degrees.
Huh? So what do you think of that? Should we just always have it mic'd up? And then at any given time I can say, Alexa, play Reba McEntire. She's not listening to me.
You know I'm all about that bass.
It'd be really good to pot it down right about now.
No, I don't want to pot it down.
Please, I'm asking you.
Oh, is there a bad... Oh, there's a bad word. I'm sorry. I didn't know this. Alexa, stop it, you pathetic old woman.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
Okay. So anyway.
Can I be the voice of Alexa? That's not nice.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, let's do that. Alexa.
What?
How you doing, Alexa?
I'm just doing just fine.
Hey, tell me a joke, Alexa.
Now it's arguing with me.
Tell me a joke, Alexa.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting. Okay. 2 Corinthians 3, 7. Going to end with a little scripture today. Why not? The glory. We need some background music for this. So what would be good background music? Just music, just without any words.
Beethoven's Fifth.
You got to mic it up again. You got to mic it up. Put it up a little higher than you had it before. Okay, Alexa, play Beethoven's Fifth.
Here's a sample of A Fifth of Beethoven, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, by Walter Murphy.
This is ridiculous.
The song you mean? Well, you suggested it.
This is terrible radio.
The whole thing with Alexa? Now she's
listening. She's so attentive.
Alexa, Tell me a joke.
Did you hear about the fire at the circus?
No.
It was intense.
It was intense. Get it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's
the glory of the new covenant.
Good stuff.
2 Corinthians 3, starting with verse 7.
Good stuff.
The old way, the law etched in stone, led to death, though it began with such glory that the people of Israel could not bear to look at Moses' face. For his face shone with the glory of God, even though the brightness was already fading away. Shouldn't we expect far greater glory under the new way, now that the Holy Spirit is giving life? If the old way, which brings condemnation, was glorious, how much more glorious is the new way, which makes us right with God? In fact, the first glory was not glorious at all compared with the overwhelming glory of the new way. So if the old way, which has been replaced, was glorious, how much more glorious is the new, which remains forever? Okay, what'd that mean, Chris?
I was listening to the music.
Can Alexa read that verse?
I don't know. Let's find out. Alexa, read 2 Corinthians 3, verse 7 through 12.
I couldn't find exploring 2 Corinthians, Death and Life, Hardship and Rivalry, Rhetoric of Religious Antiquity, Book 3.
This is genius. That's really good. Yeah, it's great. Technology. Gotta hate it.
Alexa, read 2 Corinthians chapter 3.
I couldn't find the New Testament, the second epistle.
Just like Frank can't find the New Testament.
Here's a sample from Audible.
This is Audible, the second epistle of Paul the Apostle to the Corinthians.
Ooh.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
British accent.
Yeah. Alexa, stop. It's not that good. It's British. If we wanted Britain, Maddie would be here. Okay, so the glory of the new covenant. Did you get that? Did you pay it? Did you even pay attention?
What's your question, Mac? What does that mean? Is a nebulous and pointless question. What is your question?
Frank, what's my question?
Okay, let me.
So he's just going to pontificate about
let me preface this
his
notion.
opinion of what the new...
No, hang on.
Is he going to say anything about what Paul just talked about in 1 Corinthians? Like, what do you want to know about that, Mac? What did you hear? You just read it out loud. What did you hear?
I want to hear what Frank says.
Okay.
All right.
Because I don't really know.
Understand that
I do.
That the old covenant and the new covenant are looking at the exact same event from a different perspective. The old covenant is looking forward to the cross and the death of Jesus. Their faith in that belief that Jesus is going to die is making them righteous. Their faith in that. I now am looking the opposite direction.
Talk into the mic.
I'm looking back at the cross. So therefore, my faith and belief in the fact that Jesus Christ died is making me righteous. We're looking at the exact same event. Now, Christ done what he called in legal terms, ratified the old covenant. Ratification means a confirmation or approval of a previous contract, binding of an agreement. So Christ, in his death, in essence, bound both covenants, old and new. So the people who believed in the old are saved, the people that believed in the new are saved. It's the same cross we're both looking at.
Brilliant. Every once in a while, Frank shines like a bright star over Bethlehem on a Christmas Eve evening.
Yes.
Maybe not today, though. Coming back live on The Truth.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs,
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed right or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money-back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
22 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News, and then Hank, the Bible Answer Man, 1-888-ASK Hank, a nationwide, what is it? It's live.
It is.
Wow. So that means we're live from like 1 in the afternoon till
6.
And then at 8, we come back and we're live again?
That's right.
With Steve Days?
Broadcasting live out of West Des Moines. That's right.
Wow. So this little radio station that just moved to town about a year and a half ago is producing as much live programming as any other station in our community?
Just about, yeah.
How do we do it? I just don't know.
Absolutely incredible, Mac. Well, we couldn't do it without you, sir.
That's the sound of...
Well, seriously, two of the 6 hours every day are live because of you.
All right, 2 Corinthians, and I'm only doing that in honor of DJ T, because he will be DJ T in a couple weeks.
Was that his Myers-Briggs identification? PJ? Never mind.
Myers-Briggs?
Never mind. Continue on.
You mean Briggs and Stratton?
No.
Oh, okay.
Personality profile.
Oh, no, I would be a dove.
PDJT.
I'm a dove.
You're a
dove. Can you guess that? Yeah, I'm peaceful, calm, brings serenity to the area.
Totally.
I'm a white dove.
Yeah, most of the time when I feel stressed, I just call you
and say, "Hey, dove."
Yeah.
Chill me out.
How's it going? And you just
No. Doves. What do they call that, Frank? The coo.
Oh yeah.
Doves coo.
Didn't Prince have a song about when doves fly?
Yes. Okay, that's good. 2 Corinthians 3. Can I move on now with chapter 3?
Yeah, absolutely. Something very serious.
I read 7 through 11. Now I'd like to start with 12.
What are we going to talk about the 7?
We did, and you were gone.
No, Frank talked about New Covenant, Old Covenant, everybody looking to the cross. Is that what Paul says?
Okay, no, I want you to tell me what the glory of the New Covenant is, according to 2 Corinthians 3, verse 7 through 12. Verse 7 through 11.
Christ in you.
Christ in me.
Yep.
That's a song by Matthew West.
No, it's the Bible. It's the glory of the New Covenant is Christ in you.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's the Old Covenant?
The glory of the Old Covenant was, in fact, law.
But it's not as shiny as it used to be.
Right. Now it's better. So what happens is at the beginning of chapter 3, Paul says, "You yourselves are our letter of recommendation written on our hearts to be known and read by all." He talks about the contrast between the Mosaic law, the law of the Ten Commandments written on stone, and now the law that's written on your heart by the Spirit, that the Spirit of God is alive in you, and that the glory of God is now manifested in the world by Christ being alive inside Mac.
But what if that Christ alive in me isn't lined up with the Mosaic law that Moses brought forth?
Well, that's the whole thing about sanctification, about God's grace. I mean, He's working in you.
Oh,
He's working in you for that.
So with Jesus in me, we're working on that sanctification thing.
Yep.
Thang. And so the new covenant is actually more glorious than the old, but I'm not perfect.
Yeah,
progress, not perfection.
Yeah, but you're even better than perfect
because I am justified.
Because you are filled with the Spirit.
There's a dove. For those of you watching Webcast 1, yeah, that's good. That's a coo. Yeah. What was the thing you did before? Yeah, no, that's not a dove at all.
No,
it's a crow.
That's a crow. In fact, that's what eats doves. So when the dove hears what, it's scared and probably doesn't coo anymore. Oh, Bob, do you remember the days when we first started The View from the Pew? Just an hour a day at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was so simple.
Yeah,
it was so simple. All right, so Christ in me is the new covenant.
Well, it's the glory, right? The glory of the new covenant.
Yeah, because He glorifies me.
Well, the glory of the new covenant is that that God dwells with us. That we are now the temple of God. That the believer is the temple.
I really fail as a property owner. I mean, seriously, dude. If I'm the temple of the Lord, but we're living on the east side.
Yeah, but the neat thing is, if you go to an old rundown strip shopping center, and you walk inside of it,
like on East Euclid,
but inside of it's a Neiman Marcus. It's still a Neiman Marcus on the inside. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. You may look like an old rundown shopping center, but on the inside you have something greater than Neiman Marcus. You have the living God dwelling inside you.
So it's the outside of me that can't follow the law very well.
Yeah, the outside of the law is really broke.
The flesh.
But because Neiman Marcus is on the inside, which would be equal to Jesus.
In that analogy.
Well, Target will be very happy with you for saying that.
Yeah. Well, I thought Neiman Marcus is a fancy
It
place.
is.
I just think
I don't know if there's a fancier. Tiffany's
maybe.
Might be fancier.
Yeah.
Joseph's Jewelry.
When I go into Neiman
that wouldn't be as fancy.
When I go into Neiman Marcus, they just
You go into Neiman Marcus?
They ask me to leave every time.
Why? Where do we have one? You have to go out of town.
Do we really? We don't have a Neiman Marcus.
I don't think we have a Neiman Marcus.
I couldn't afford
it. We
it.
did just get that Norderakers. No, that's not what it's called.
Norderakers?
Nordakers? No.
What is it called?
Nordstrom's. We just got the rack. Nordstrom's the rack.
Oh, that's a discount place, though.
Is it?
Isn't Nordstrom's rack discount? Yeah, that's the discount.
I really want to say something so unchristian right here, and I won't do it.
Okay. Wait till the break, because I'm curious.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I just don't want anybody mad at me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, verse 11. Can I go to 12 now?
Oh, it gets really good.
With 12?
Oh, it gets good.
Can I start? Or do you want to read?
No, go ahead.
Since the new way gives us such confidence, we can be very bold. However, we are not like Moses, who put a veil over his face so the people of Israel would not see the glory, even though it was destined to fade away. But the people's minds are hardened. And to this day, whenever the old covenant is being read, the same veil covers their minds, not their faces, their minds, so they cannot understand the truth. And this veil can be removed only by believing in Christ.
Can I stop you there?
Sure. That would be at 14.
16. That's 14?
That's 14.
Sure. Okay. Verse 16, I thought that's where I was with you.
14 is, but the people's minds are hardened, and to this day, whenever the old covenant is being read, the same veil covers their minds so they cannot understand the truth.
Oh.
And this veil can be removed only by believing in Christ.
Right. Man, I do not like that translation you have. This is hard to understand. Maybe it's because I'm reading something different. But anyway.
It's the NLT.
Well, maybe it's because I'm reading a different translation. Like it's hard to do both things.
You shouldn't do that. When I'm reading out loud, just listen.
I should just listen.
Yeah.
But that's a really great line. Only through Christ can the veil, the blindness that we have to seeing the glory of God revealed in the law. So Paul's actually talking about the law, the goodness of God revealed to Moses on Mount Sinai.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right? And when Moses saw it, his face became like glowing.
Yeah.
So he had to have a veil, right?
Right.
Now Paul is saying that through Christ we see that fully and without a veil, and we have full access to that. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's good. So it's still, the law is still good. I'm not arguing with you.
But what if I don't want to follow the law?
Oh, but Christ in you wants you to follow the law.
Well, what part of me doesn't want to follow the law?
Flesh. The old man, that part of you that's dying.
The part of me that's dying.
Yeah. That's Christianese and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, as we
it's not dead yet.
Well, positionally, which is a really like declaration. A declaration. So you go to the court, you go to the judge. The judge says you're innocent, and you're innocent, and that's all there is to it. That's a declaration. You may not feel innocent though.
No, I don't.
Right. So it's the difference between being declared good and feeling good, or living good. Living as someone free.
So I've been declared innocent.
You have.
But I'm still guilty.
Yeah. Well, no. You tricked me there. I was half paying attention.
So no, but I'm glorified. And what can be greater than being glorified by God? So I'm glorified.
Yeah.
But I'm still wicked.
Sometimes.
And what part of me is wicked?
The wicked part. Was that a good political answer?
At conversion,
vote for me.
Ezekiel is saying...
Hold on. I need you. Here comes the music. We need to stop. Because this is important. Because, studying the Bible is like being in the water. You can either skim across the top like a skier and go fast, but not go anywhere except fast. Or you can get the wetsuit on and go deep. And we're deep today into 2 Corinthians 3. Thanks for joining us.
We're so close to Trump's verse.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
10 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News. And then, of course, it's none other than Hank, the Bible Answer Man, at 1-888-ASK-HANK. Live program across the world, thanks to the internet and radio stations all over the country. Don't forget, speaking of across the world, we are less than 60 days away from Bob and I Craig Ellington, Dick and Betty Odegaard. We are going. Where would be the coolest place to be on Christmas Eve? No, try again. Yeah, I like Grandma's house because over the river and through the woods because that's how we get to Grandma's. And then there's the Big Bad Wolf. How about Bethlehem? How about standing in Bethlehem in a 50-degree chilly overnight and the star comes out and the wise men still seek him. And there's the babe lying in a manger, coddled, held with Jesus and Mary and a couple of camels and maybe a sherp or two. And we're going to be there. And you can be with us. Maybe not in flesh, but in spirit. We will be broadcasting live from a Christian church Christmas Eve in Bethlehem. If for some reason you should want to go, you can. It's not a quote-unquote official tour. We are trying to put one of those together for Christmas 17. Well, we're going to start something here that I can never end. I just know it. I can see it.
It's 2037, and this will be our 21st anniversary of broadcasting live from Bethlehem.
By then, my COPD will be in full swing. Bob will be athletic. All right. So anyway, Holy Week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the show live from Bethlehem. And then Saturday, Christmas Eve, live from a Christian church in Bethlehem. This all a part of Holy Land Missions. And you can learn more at holylandmissions.org. All right, we're in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, and I believe, Chris, you've got us now, what, to 15?
Well, can I be so
yes.
pushy as to go back a little bit?
Sure, please do. That would not be pushy. That'd be pulley.
Pulley. I'm going to pull you back a little bit. So Paul says a little bit earlier, such is the confidence that we have through Christ towards God, not that we are sufficient in ourselves to claim anything as coming from us, but our sufficiency is from God, who has made us competent to be ministers of a new covenant, not of the letter, but of the Spirit. For the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. So in the new covenant, Paul is saying, we live by the Spirit because we've received the Spirit. We've received the Spirit in our hearts, the adoption as sons. The Spirit of God, Christ lives in us. And so now we live out the law. This is what Paul's talking about.
Because he writes the law in our hearts.
Because he writes the law in our hearts. We now live that law out by the Spirit to give life rather than a letter or rules that simply condemn or kill. So if I were to take to you, Mac, and I were to say, here's the law, here are the 10 Commandments, here they are there simply to condemn you. That's all the law can do in that sense, Paul is saying.
That's all. I
right?
agree. Yeah.
But the law now, that same thing, the 10 Commandments, as imparted to you by the Spirit, now brings life.
Yeah.
That same law, thou shalt not kill, when you obey it and it's in your heart, it can bring life through God, through the Spirit of God living in you. It brings life to people, as opposed to just being a written law, which just says don't. Right. In you, the Spirit of the Spirit of God, the law of the 10 Commandments, the law of God, is alive in you, and it brings life. And we live out that, loving our neighbor. We live out the law. And we then glorify God as we do that. As Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2, you yourselves are our letter of recommendation written on our hearts to be known and read by all, that we live as the law. We become a testament to God's goodness by living faithful lives empowered by the Spirit. Does that make sense? So as I live a faithful life empowered by the Spirit, I give glory to God to those in the watching world.
Can I oversimplify and tell me if I'm wrong in this oversimplification?
You're going to oversimplify?
Yes.
Yeah,
so what I just heard him say was keep the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law, in the new covenant. In the new covenant, we're keeping the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. Agree? Disagree?
I'd agree. That's kind of one of the things I've been talking about. We shouldn't try to take words and make them into meanings, especially with the Bible, because it is written in a mindset that is very Eastern. And our Western way, we want to immediately jump to, well, what does that mean? What's the moral of the story? What's the lesson to be learned here? What does that mean? Well, you have to sit back and kind of relish in what it means.
Ezekiel and Ephesians both tell us that we receive a new heart and mind when we're new in Christ. And that new heart and mind is at war. It's with odds. It's at enmity with the flesh constantly. So we die to the flesh when we're new in Christ, with our new mind and our new heart.
Chris, you're scratching your head as if you don't agree.
No, I agree. I'm just trying to decide if I'm just going to go. I'm going to go somewhere else. So, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9. For if there was glory in the ministry of condemnation, listen to that sentence. For if there was glory in the ministry of condemnation, what is that? Wow. The ministry of condemnation.
Ministry of condemning people, of busting their butt with the law.
Anyway, the point is, the ministry now that we have, with the Spirit of God living in us, the law living in us, we are enabled now by the Spirit to live faithfully. As before the law simply condemned, now the Spirit gives us life.
Life to live
holy lives before
past
God.
The law.
But what gave the Old Testament?
Better than.
More righteous than someone who just simply kept the law.
What gave the Old Testament Christians life then?
There were no such thing as Old Testament Christians.
Well, Old Testament believers.
Believers in who?
Believers in God that were looking forward to Christ's death.
Okay.
It was always faith. It was always faith. So they believed the promise of God.
There was always faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love.
Right. Anyway, we're out of time.
We're out of time. It's my Friday, so I'll see you Monday. Meanwhile, Bob is gone tomorrow, spending time with his daughter and granddaughter. Chris is spending time with his wife and daughter at the Trunk or Treat at the Urbandale Library. So tomorrow's special show will be Frank's World Live. And I want to tell you right now that J. Michael McCoy has nothing to do with that show, nor does 99.3, Chris Roloff, Bob Montserrat, Jebediah, or anybody else. It's going to be a train wreck.
Frank's World, it's awesome. It's excellent.
Alexa! Never mind. Remember, as you forgive, you shall be forgiven. See you at church.